Hi, everybody. Welcome to the KC CHIROPulse podcast brought to you by CATS Consultants, helping doctors keep their pulse on success. I'm Dr. Michael Perusich, and I'm joined today with our COO, Marisa Mateja. Marisa, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good. I ask how you are like I haven't talked to you a million times already today.
Yeah. And I have to tell you, I love being on with these massive earphones. It really does a girl great, for your hair day.
Oh,
I'm teasing. It's
you
fine.
look amazing. So that's funny. Yeah, the joys of podcasting, it doesn't always go with your wardrobe.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, or hair and makeup. So
Oh, funny.
So what are we talking about today?
Well, I had a thought. We get calls all the time from docs all over the country, excited to learn about what we do, excited to get into coaching, excited to do everything. And then we don't hear back from them for 6 months to a year. They still haven't joined anything else necessarily, but they also haven't gotten started. They have just not taken the bull by the horns and really, ran with it, I guess you could say. And I thought that's an interesting phenomenon that we see with docs dragging their feet, I guess, a little bit. So I thought we'd chat about that.
Yeah, and I know. I mean, we can certainly understand that doctors are busy and, we wear a lot of hats and, there's a lot going on in the clinic. And we all understand that the weeks and the months go by pretty quickly. However, so does your success if you just let it go. What's the quote? I'm not even sure who said it, so I apologize, but success doesn't come to you. You have to swim out to it. And I'll use your term. You got to take the bull by the horns.
Yeah.
That 6 months to a year. Okay, let's just frame it like this. Okay, let's just say, and this is kind of a minimalistic. It's a big word. A minimalistic number. Okay, let's say we grow your practice by just $10,000 a month in collections. Okay, if you waited 12 months, how much money did you lose?
Well, my math says 120,000.
Your math is really good. Even if you waited 6 months, you've lost 60,000. Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's a halfway decent year's salary, Sure. So you're leaving that money on the table by dragging your feet. So how much does that cost to not pull the trigger and make that decision? It costs you a ton of money. Yeah. And I don't think we oftentimes look at it in terms of what is the return on investment for waiting. In other words, when's the right time to start? Yesterday, typically.
And you just said it. A lot of docs miss the boat on coaching being an investment. And, sometimes, that's something that is really, it shouldn't be on your expense sheet as this thing that weighs you down ever, because of the value added on the other side of it, bringing you up so much. It's really something that is invaluable.
Yeah, oh, exactly. A coach typically costs about, I'm trying to do the math in my head, about 1% or less of the growth that they bring to your clinic. Okay, think about that in investment terms. If I told you were going to get a 50%, 100%, 200% return on your money, would you do it? And it was safe and it pretty much could do nothing but take you up in wealth. Yeah, you'd do it in a heartbeat. That's a no-brainer. Those opportunities hardly ever come along. So why miss out? Why drag your feet? Why not swim out to it?
We had a new client start with us, and just in the first couple months, we were working through some of the things that they were doing, their statistics and everything. And we found $60,000 that they were leaving on the table just quickly. And that was not even scratching the surface, so.
Yeah, that's without any growth.
Yeah, that was without growth. That was literally just what they're seeing, what they're doing, they're leaving on the table.
Yeah. And we see that a lot, and it's hard to manage your practice by yourself. Let's take a great athlete. How do they get to be a great athlete? Did they just train themselves? Did they just decide, well, I'm going to eat this and I'm going to do this workout and then I'm going to go out and win the Super Bowl? No. Tom Brady
Probably
has a
not.
whole bevy of coaches to not only help him be at the top of his game, but to be at the top of the game for how many years?
I
I
was
mean,
going to say at the continuous top of the game.
yeah, I mean, the guy's phenomenal, but he's phenomenal because he puts the work and effort in. He understands, most importantly, he understands the value of coaching along the way. And that's so important in business. If you read, which everybody knows I'm a proficient reader, and when you read about other successful business people, every single one of them talks about having coaches, executive boards, oversight committees, whatever you want to call them. They've got people above them, below them, beside them, pushing them, pulling them. They have coaches all over the place to help them get there. They don't ever do it by themselves. Great
Oh,
success is never attained on your own. I think John Maxwell said something to that effect that, success really comes from getting involved with other people who, like I just said, push and pull you along the way to success. Because we can't ever really see, it's kind of like the forest for the trees. We can't ever really see what's happening in our practice, especially as doctors, because most of the time you had that doctor hat on and you're running around the clinic treating patients and everything. And when do you really stop and train staff? When do you really stop and see what's going on? When do you really stop and take that time? Well, you should, but when you're in the midst of it, it seems like you don't have the time. This is one of the places that we often plug in and really help doctors is not only in time management, but creating simplistic forms of training and things that they can just immediately plug into. And it doesn't require a lot of time. And yet the results are so amazing when they make just a little bit of effort to make that happen.
absolutely. We have great stuff for CAs as well. And I bring that side into it because I
Hmm.
was your CA for many years. And you really need to make sure that your accountability partner in your practice is a really good CA that has that same entrepreneurial mindset as well, because they need to be able to have a little bit of business sense to help the doctor in those times where they've got the doctor hat on and they don't have the
Exactly.
entrepreneur hat on. So,
Yeah.
thinking in terms of staff helping as well in your practice, making sure that they do have a little bit of business sense really helps you.
You just touched on the concept that we talk about all the time, hiring the right people.
Yeah.
But how do you know how to hire the right people? Well, again, this is one of those places where a good coach, business advisor can really help you, especially when you're in the throes of trying to manage patient care and not so much business. But if you don't manage the business, it'll bury you.
Yeah.
That's the part of practice that will take you down. It's not your patients, it's your business management skills. And this is why having a great coach is so important behind the scenes. I could
Absolutely.
take this topic and run with it for about an hour
I
or
agree.
two. But I think you have to intentionally have, and again, I'm going to use your term, Marissa, because it's spot on. You have to intentionally have accountability in your back pocket. And this is
Yeah.
a tough one. I wrote a recent little article on this,
Mhm.
that I think we posted on social media, about accountability. And accountability's tough. And this is what
It is tough.
coaches do. They hold you accountable. But self accountability will never get you to your full success point. It just won't happen
Yeah.
because
It's too easy to fall out of that. It's kind of like, when you start a workout program, you're all gung ho to begin with. And then if you don't have someone doing that with you, pushing you, I've got some
no, there's
friends
no
that,
relativity to it.
yeah, they all meet together
Hmm.
every morning because they're accounting for each other to make sure that they go to this. And if you don't have that in coaching and those kind of things in your normal business life, who are you accountable to?
Yeah, exactly. So you need accountability partners. You need to understand that good coaching is a major investment in your future success and will get you there quicker than you can on your own. And you got to put yourself in a position where you're doing the right things, because wow, in our profession, is it easy to trip up and get in trouble by doing the wrong things? And we see a lot of doctors listening to the wrong voices sometimes.
Yes.
And it gets them in trouble. So success is in a positive direction, and you can never travel the same road as negativity at the same time. So how about that?
That's a very good quote.
All right. Great topic, Marisa. Thanks for joining me today on the podcast, and appreciate everybody tuning into the KC CHIROpulse podcast, brought to you by CATS Consultants, helping doctors keep their pulse on success. So be sure to check us out at catsconsultants.com. If you have a topic you want to hear us banter around, send it to Dr. Fox. It's Troy at catsconsultants.com. Send him an email. Drop us a line. We'll be happy to discuss your topic, and we won't embarrass you. We won't say your name on air. So,
absolutely not.
From all of us here at CATS Consultants, thanks for tuning in. Stay informed and be well adjusted.